Football, the world's most beautiful game. It builds heroes. It creates legends. It unites billions under one emotion, passion. But just as quickly as it gives everything, it can take it all away. Because in football, one decision, one moment, even 1 second of madness can turn glory into tragedy. Today, we're diving into the stories of 5 players who had everything: talent, fame, and the world at their feet, until one mistake, one impulse, or one choice changed everything. These are the footballers who ruined their careers in seconds. Eric Cantona, the kick that shook the world. January 25th, 1995. A cold night at Selhurst Park. Manchester United are playing Crystal Palace. United's king, Eric Cantona, is at the height of his powers. Charismatic, fearless, and unpredictable. He's not just a player, he's an artist with a temper. Early in the second half, Cantona gets tangled in a scuffle. The referee shows him a red card. As he walks off, the crowd jeers. And from the stands, a fan shouts abuse. Loud, personal, venomous. And then, it happens. Cantona turns, leaps over the barrier, and delivers one of the most infamous kicks in football history. A kung fu kick straight to the fan's chest. For a moment, time stops. The stadium gasps. Commentators can't believe their eyes. That single act earns him an 8-month suspension, a criminal charge, and a fine that nearly ended his career. He went from being football's rebel hero to its most hated villain. Cantona would later return, win titles, and retire as a cult icon, but the kung fu kick became a permanent scar on his legacy. Years later, when asked about it, he said only one sentence: "When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea." Philosophical, cryptic, but deep down, even Cantona knew 1 second of rage had changed him forever. Luis Suárez, the bite that bit back. Fast forward to 2014. Brazil, the World Cup, the biggest stage in football. Luis Suárez, Uruguay's golden striker, is finally ready to silence his critics. He's already a Premier League sensation, a nightmare for defenders, and adored back home. But Suárez had a dark history: violent tackles, racial controversy, and 2 previous biting incidents in Europe. Then, in a crucial match against Italy, with millions watching around the world, Suárez leans in during a scuffle with Giorgio Chiellini and bites him. The moment spreads like wildfire. It's not just on sports channels, it's everywhere. News networks, memes, front-page headlines. FIFA reacts immediately. A 4-month ban from all football-related activity. Sponsors flee. Reputation destroyed. That single act didn't just cost him a World Cup. It turned him into a global villain. He later joined Barcelona, scored goals, and rebuilt his image. But the bite never left him. For many fans, Suárez isn't remembered for his goals. He's remembered for his teeth. Mario Balotelli, the self-destruction of a star talent. Charisma, chaos. That's Mario Balotelli in 3 words. From a young age, he was special, physically gifted, skillful, and fearless. At just 18, he was dominating for Inter Milan. By 20, he was playing for Manchester City and lifting the Premier League title. But Mario was unpredictable, the kind of player who could score a wonder goal one week and make headlines for the wrong reasons the next. He fought with managers, clashed with teammates, and showed up late to training again and again. Once, he threw darts at a youth player during practice. Another time, he set off fireworks inside his house. When reporters asked why, he simply shrugged and said, "Because I can." His "why always me" celebration became iconic, but behind the smile was frustration. He was a genius trapped inside his own ego. Every club believed they could change him. Inter, City, Milan, Liverpool, all tried. But Balotelli never changed. By his mid-20s, the wonder kid was gone, replaced by a man no one wanted to sign. He once said, "I do what I want because I know I'm not like others." He was right. But in football, that attitude can cost you everything. Balotelli didn't ruin his career in 1 second. He ruined it slowly, one bad decision at a time. Marco Verratti, the slow fall of a maestro. Marco Verratti was the quiet genius of Paris Saint-Germain, a magician in midfield, a player who didn't seek fame, just control. For a decade, he was the engine behind Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. Every pass, every rhythm, he dictated it all. At his peak, he could have walked into any midfield in the world. But as the years passed, his hunger faded. The drive to compete started to disappear. In 2023, at just 30 years old, still capable of playing in Europe's elite, Verratti left PSG for Qatar. No big farewell, no Champions League dream, just gone. Fans were shocked. Analysts called it the end of ambition. In one decision, he traded football's biggest stage for quiet luxury. It wasn't a scandal, it wasn't a crime, but in a sport that rewards hunger and heart, Verratti's story became a warning that sometimes comfort is the slowest kind of career killer. Zinedine Zidane, the headbutt that echoed through history, July 9th, 2006, Berlin, the World Cup final, France versus Italy. Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest to ever touch a ball, is playing his last professional match. He's already scored a beautiful Panenka penalty in the opening minutes. It's the perfect farewell, the final act of a legend. But late in the match, something happens. Marco Materazzi whispers something personal, something Zidane couldn't ignore. Zidane stops, turns, and drives his head straight into Materazzi's chest. The world goes silent. The referee lifts the red card. Zidane's career, his final moment, ends not with applause, but with shock. France would go on to lose the final on penalties. And Zidane's walk past the World Cup trophy, head bowed, became one of the most haunting images in football history. He was still a legend, still a champion, but that one act of rage became the shadow that followed him forever. Even the greatest can lose control.